Hey guys, my name's Chris, and this is a 100% free course on how to make money with TikTok Shop Lives as a complete beginner. Unlike other side hustles or business models, you don't need tons of followers, you don't need any fancy equipment, and you don't need any experience to get started with this. All you need is the right skills to build trust and convince people to buy. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm gonna show you how to do, just like myself and many others that I've helped. I'm gonna give you everything I did to make at least $100 a day with TikTok Shop live streams and a lot more. And not just me, Brenda, Rebecca, Kayla, all did the same. This free course will show you how to get approved for TikTok Shop, how to find winning products to promote on your live streams, what to actually do on your live streams, and much more. So grab a pen and paper, remove all distractions, and listen in, because this next 90 minutes could change your life. Let's get into it. So who is this for? Anyone in the US that's looking to make 5K plus per month working only 3 hours a day or less. So if you're looking to quit your job or just looking to create some financial freedom, listen up. First, let's talk about what TikTok Shop really is and why it's exploding right now. TikTok Shop combines social media and e-commerce into one platform where users can discover and purchase products without ever leaving the app. Now, those of you guys that have done affiliate marketing in the past or tried social media marketing in the past, one of the most challenging things is that everything is on different platforms, right? So if you're marketing on Instagram, you have to then get somebody to click a link in your bio to go buy something from another website, which creates a lot of sales resistance. With TikTok Shop, they can do everything on platform. They don't have to leave. They can see the content, they can see the live stream, they can see the product right there. They can click it, they can buy it. It takes less than 10 seconds. So what makes TikTok Shop Live specifically different? TikTok Shop Live combines entertainment and shopping into real time. So it allows creators to demonstrate products while viewers purchase instantly. Think like QVC, but instead of being on your TV where you have to dial an 800 number, it's just on your phone. You don't have to dial anything. You just see the product, click it, buy it. It's very, very easy, and it combines that engagement factor that you don't have on TV and you also don't have with videos. Why is TikTok Shop Live exploding right now? Consumers are shifting towards creator-driven shopping experiences that feel more engaging and trustworthy than traditional e-commerce, right? Even especially now with the rise of AI content, people are starting to trust videos less and less, but you can't do that with the live stream. So the trust factor is much, much higher. Plus, people like to support smaller creators that are much like them, not just big celebrities that are nothing like them. Now let's talk about why beginners have a real opportunity with this. It's open to everybody right now. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to have a huge following. TikTok's algorithm will push small creators to thousands of viewers regardless of how many followers you have. This is absolutely massive. On other social media platforms, traditionally, you only get pushed out to your followers or maybe just a small group of people beyond that. TikTok pushes you out to an insane number of people, especially if your live is converting well and getting good engagement. The barrier to entry is extremely low. You can start TikTok Shop Live with just a phone, basic lighting, and a TikTok account. That's it. No fancy equipment. You don't need a huge budget. Like I said, you don't need a huge following. Literally anybody can do this, and everyone is doing it. So how do creators actually make money with TikTok Shop Lives? Creators earn affiliate commissions by promoting products from brands on their live streams. So if you are a live creator, which hopefully you will be after this video, you go live, you choose what product you want to promote, you put that product in the live stream physically, and also via TikTok, you put that link on your live stream and people will buy that product. Every time they do, you get a percentage of that sale. So it could be anywhere from 10% all the way up to 50%. So if you sell a $20 item and you have a 25% commission rate, you're going to earn $5 on that one sale. Now imagine thousands of people coming through your live stream, and let's just say even 50 people buy and you make $5 per sale. That is $250 in commissions that you just made there without having to leave your house, simply from your iPhone and maybe a ring light and having the product on hand. That's it. With live selling, it creates immediate buyer intent. People know that they're watching something. They know that they're watching you trying to sell something to them. And so they are sitting in there because they are interested in what you're selling. And you can create that intent through things like flash sales, giveaways, countdowns, and just simply interacting to create urgency with those viewers, right? If people are watching you on your live stream with the product and they connect with the product, they think it might solve a problem for them, all you have to do is just convince them, now's the time to buy it on my live stream. That can be done through flash sales and urgency, right? That is simply all it is. the buyer intent is there because they're watching something that they know is a product promotion, right? So let's move on. Let's talk about the income scalability with TikTok Shop live streams. So creators can start earning commissions fast. Literally, some people earn commissions their first day. Some people don't. Some people it takes a week, maybe a couple days, whatever the case may be, but you can start making money extremely quickly. You are not posting videos and hoping that they go viral and waiting for something to happen, right? You can immediately make something happen simply by pushing that live button. And many creators eventually scale up over $1,000 in commission a day. It's more common than you think, but let's start with a small goal of just making $50 to $100 a day. That's what this video is about. Now let's talk about everything you need to get started with this for under $100. You should be willing to invest in yourself. If you're not willing to invest 50 to 100 bucks to make a full-time income simply by pushing a button on your phone, this video may not be for you. Now, first things first, you do not need an expensive setup. You don't need some crazy studio. All you need are some basic things. Most successful live streamers start with simple setups and then they improve gradually as they go on. Now let's talk about the basic equipment that you need. The first things first, you should already have it. You likely already have it. If you're watching this video, you're probably watching it on a smartphone. That is the very first thing you need, is just a smartphone. Doesn't even have to be the newest smartphone, but just a smartphone with a decent camera on it. The next thing you're gonna need is some lighting. We'll get into that, but simple ring light will do just fine to start out. Next thing is a microphone, right? A Bluetooth microphone. This is just going to help keep things crisp and professional. Then we have a tripod or a phone stand, stable internet connection, which I'm assuming most of you guys already have. But that's it. That's all you really need to get started with this. Very, very straightforward, very cheap. Most of you guys probably have a lot of this stuff already at home, so you don't need to invest too much money. And that's the idea, right? We don't want to invest a ton of money to get started. That's what's so great about this. You can invest just a little bit of money for the things that you don't already have, but you can make a lot of money and you get out of it what you put into it. Your smartphone is more than enough to do this. In fact, even top live streamers today are still just simply streaming from their smartphone. You don't need any fancy camera or fancy live streaming devices. Yes, those things do exist, but they are 100% not necessary. Just a decent smartphone will have camera quality that's more than sufficient for what we're doing here. So you probably already have that box checked. Now, let's talk about why lighting is so important and why lighting matters the most. Good lighting is going to improve the professional appearance, the product visibility, and viewer retention more than an expensive camera will. Good lighting is much cheaper than an expensive camera. You can have the best camera in the world, but if your lighting sucks, it is going to have a massively negative impact on your live streams. So if you're to focus on any of this equipment, make sure you have some decent lighting. And if you start watching TikTok Shop lives, you're going to notice that the lives that are performing well typically have very good lighting. They may not have a $5,000 camera. It could just be their iPhone, but their lighting is always on point. So please, please, please do not miss this one. Have good lighting for your live streams. We don't want anything too dark. There's only a small handful of products that require a dark setup if it's some sort of LED light or things like that. But the majority of products we have to have good lighting for. All right, let's talk about microphones really quick. Recommended beginner microphones. You can literally buy a cheap Bluetooth microphone off of Amazon for like 20 bucks that will do the job just fine. And it's going to improve the quality of your live streams significantly, especially if you are any distance away from your phone. The audio quality with just using your iPhone or your Android phone mic is not going to be that great. And there will often be echoes too as well, just depending on the room that you're in. So 100% just invest in a cheap Bluetooth microphone, get it off Amazon, something that's 20 bucks, and that will do the job just fine. That's more than enough for what you need to do this. And a lot of top live streamers, again, still are just using cheap Bluetooth microphones they got off Amazon or even off of TikTok Shop. Now let's go over the tripod camera positioning. It doesn't have to be a tripod. If you're putting stuff on a desk, you can also just use a phone stand. But a stable tripod or phone stand and proper camera positioning is going to make your live stream look a lot cleaner and a lot more professional, right? We don't want the camera wobbling around while we're talking. We want everything to be in focus right there. People can see, they know exactly what they're looking at. So invest 20, 30 bucks in a nice little camera stand, just something you can set on your desk, or just a tripod that you can put your phone on. That way you can have something that's going to hold your phone in place. It's not going to be moving around. You don't want to be holding your phone the entire time while you're doing the live stream. Viewers, it's going to be too much, right? It's going to make them dizzy. It's not going to be very visually nice to watch and someone's just constantly moving around with the phone, right? We don't want to feel like a POV live streamer, like walking around showing a product the whole time. It's good to do that as part of your live stream, but then you don't want that for the entire duration of the stream. So simply invest in something decent here. It doesn't cost a ton of money, but it will absolutely make a huge difference for your streams. Now let's talk about your workspace setup. So clean and organized workspace. This is so important, and a lot of people mess this up, but it's a really easy thing to do, right? It's going to make the demonstration easier, and it's going to improve the viewer experience. So uncluttered area, just nice and clean. Start simple. Don't have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of distractions in the background. We want the focus to be on the product. It can literally just be a blank wall behind you to start with you and the product, maybe a desk in front of you, but that is it. Now, internet connection, this probably goes without saying, but having a stable internet and decent speeds is going to be important. You do not want your lag stream to be lagging or freezing. That is going to cause people to drop off. It's also going to kill your conversion rates for the people that do stick around, because it's just not going to give them a ton of confidence in you or the product that you're selling. So most of you guys should already have this, but if you don't, just make sure your internet is decent so that there's no issues with lagging or freezing or anything like that during your stream. So let's do a quick recap of the basics for the beginner setup. The phone, you should already have that, so we don't have that on our list here. Bluetooth microphone, again, 20, 30 bucks is all you need. Ring light, $20 or less. You can buy ring lights for like $15 on Amazon, have it at your doorstep the next day. There's no excuses for you to not have just these basic things that you need to start going live. And the investment is teeny. It's practically nothing. The tripod and the phone stand, again, you can get these very inexpensively, $15 to $30. With those alone, you can probably do this for between $50 and $70. But if you want to buy nicer stuff, you could still probably do it under 100 bucks. All right, let's talk about how to get approved and how to actually set up your TikTok Shop account. First things first, you have to create a clean and trustworthy account, right? So don't put anything crazy on there. Literally just a picture of you as a profile picture, a nice name. The name honestly doesn't matter that much. Just don't make it something inappropriate or off-putting. Simple username, profile photo, and then a bio. The bio can be simple. It can just be like 3 words that describe you. Like it can literally be stay-at-home mom or truck driver on the road. It doesn't matter. Just something simple, something that people will go to your profile and they'll be like, oh, they'll start to identify you as that person, right? We don't need to go crazy or overthink any of this, but of course you do need a TikTok account to do this. You can use your current TikTok account. If you don't want your friends and family seeing you doing this, you can start a new TikTok account and just make sure that it doesn't sync with your contacts. Just upload a nice clean photo. It can even just be what a lot of people are doing now is they're just taking one of their pictures and they're just having AI kind of like do a makeover on it, kind of make it like a cartoon like picture of themselves. Doesn't matter a ton. It doesn't even have to be a picture of you. It could literally be a sunset picture or something like that. So if you're like, I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this, I want this to stay completely private, start a new account, don't sync with your contacts. That picture doesn't even have to be of you. You literally don't even have to show your face to do this. It can certainly help to show your face, but it's not really a requirement yet. Now, your very first step to get access to sell things on TikTok Shop Live is to get to 1,000 followers. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but you have to get your account to 1,000 followers. That will allow you access into the TikTok Shop pilot program, which is your first step. Once you have access to that, you can actually start putting products into shoppable live streams and into shoppable videos. Your next step is going to be to graduate from the pilot program, get yourself to 5,000 followers. Once you get to 5K or you graduate from pilot, you will have full shop access. So you will not have any limitations on how many live streams you can do per week. You will not have any limitations on how many videos you can do per week. Well, with some exception, right? They don't want you spamming videos, but we're not worried about that. We're just worried about live streams. And once you get to this point, you can go live as much as you want. You'll have full access with no limitations. This is the first kind of big milestone in terms of TikTok Shop. When you're in the pilot program, as of right now, you'll only be able to go live 3 times per week. So I recommend you maximize those 3 times, go live as long as you possibly can for those 3 times, get the experience, get the reps, start making some money. If you just go live for 20 minutes, you just use one of your sessions if you're in the pilot program. So it's kind of a waste of time to do that. But ultimately, we want to get to 5K. And by going live, you're going to get a lot of followers doing that. It's a very easy way to get followers. This will come fairly easy once you get going. Now, in terms of growing accounts, we could do 3 separate 30-minute videos on this, but in order to be as efficient as possible and save time, this will stay focused on how to actually do, make money with TikTok Shop Lives. So if you want to learn how to grow an account, grow it quickly, get to 1K quickly, get to 5K quickly, there are a lot of very good tutorials on YouTube. You can just search how to grow a TikTok account to 5K or how to grow a TikTok account to 1K. There are videos that will show you how to do this very fast. We're not going to waste time on that here today. Okay. Let's talk about finding winning products that produce $100+ per hour. Picking a winning product is going to be one of the most important things that you do as a live streamer. This is kind of like your foundational pillar of success. You could be the best live streamer in the world, but if you cannot pick good products, it is going to be very, very difficult to do well. So we want to focus on this. We want to make sure that we're spending time researching and doing this properly. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. This, like I said, this will make or break your success, especially if you are new to this. So make sure that you do not skip this step. Don't just grab a random product and go live with it. Sure, that can work once in a while, but it's very, very rare. You're much better off spending the time doing the research, finding something that's going to give you a high chance of success from the beginning, right? This is the boat that you're getting into. Do we want to get into a fishing boat or do we want to get into a speedboat? That is your product. Now, what I'm going to show you guys in this video is hands down the best product selection method that exists for TikTok shop live streams, period. Okay. It uses real data and we're not guessing at all. What a lot of people do is they use Calidata and they just see live streams and they just guess. They think, okay, I think this is probably doing well, so I'm going to try that. The method I'm going to show you guys here today will actually verify data to make sure, yes, this product is doing well. This is a winning product, not just it looks like a winning product. Now, the first thing, we are going to get a Calidata account. Now, we're not using solely Calidata. This is not like every other tutorial out there on product selection that just says, go to Calidata, use these filters, do these things, right? We're only using Calidata for one piece of it. We're not using it for the data itself. Now, Calidata is paid, but you do not need to pay for it. So you can just get a free trial. And what a lot of people do is when their free trial expires, if they cannot afford the investment into Calidata, they simply start a new email account and get another free trial. So you can do this 100% for free. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to sign up for a TikTok shop seller account. Now, one very, very important note here is do not use the same information as your TikTok account to sign up for a seller account, because what will happen is it will link your TikTok account to your seller account, which we do not want. It will become a marketing account and you will not be able to access TikTok shop as an affiliate. So when you do this step, please, please, please make sure that you are not using the same information and connecting those two accounts. Now, the reason that we're going to use a seller account because sellers have access to data for creators. So we can actually use this to see how much live GMV is somebody actually producing. And we're going to use Calidata to verify what product are they going live with and how long are they going live. Using these two things, we can triangulate exactly how much money somebody is making with a product, how much money they're making per hour, how much GMV they're doing per hour, and how much commissions they're doing per hour. So make sure that you do those two things, get the Calidata account and sign up for a seller center account. TikTok shop, just Google TikTok shop seller and sign up for an account there. Okay, now that we've done that, we're actually going to start researching. How do we do this? Spend 10 to 15 minutes just scrolling live streams on TikTok. Some of these live streams are going to be shop live streams, which is what we want to focus on. Others are just going to be normal live streams, which we do not care about. So you're going to scroll through. Spend a little bit of time doing this every single day, morning, afternoon, evening, scroll through and just check out different live streams. If you see something interesting or that appears to be doing well, just note the handle down. Okay, this person's handle is Chris Livestreams 123. I'm just going to note that down in my notes. Get a bunch of those handles, note them down. So you have a nice list. Hey, over the last day, here's some live streams that I saw that looked like they were doing well. The product was interesting to me. Now, again, we want to make sure that we're looking at products that are at least somewhat interesting to us. If it's something that you do not care about whatsoever, don't waste your time on it. Just trust me from experience, from all the live streamers we've worked with, it's just very difficult to do well with products that you don't care about whatsoever. You don't have to be in love with the product. It doesn't have to be your favorite product ever, but you at least have to have some inkling of passion about the product if you're going to be talking about it for, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours every single day. Now, what we're going to do once we have our list of TikTok handles that we've seen on live stream selling a product that looked like it was doing well, at least somewhat interested in, for each of those accounts, we're going to go onto Calidata and we're going to see exactly how long they've been going live every single day. Now, you guys can see here, this person on the 26th, they went live for 1 hour and 2 minutes. on the 25th, 17 hours and 51 minutes, right? So we're going to note this stuff down because we're going to be cross-referencing these live durations with how much GMV they produced on those days. So we can see how much are they making per hour. Were they doing the same product every single day, or was it a different product every single day? A really good sign is if somebody is doing the same product every single day consistently, they're probably making money with it. And we're going to verify that here in the next steps, which I'm going to show you guys. Now that we have the accounts, we see how long they're going live every day, and we know which product they're going live with, we're going to go to Seller Center, and for each of these accounts, we're going to see how much GMV exactly they did on each day, and then divide that by the number of hours they went live. This gives us, okay, they're doing X amount of sales per hour, X amount of GMV, which GMV, by the way, you guys, is just simply revenue. It's just a sales number. It's just a gross merchandise value is what TikTok uses, but it's revenue, right? It's total sales. We're going to see how much GMV they are producing every single day. This is going to give us a really good idea. We're also going to look at what percentage of their total GMV is from live streams versus videos. We're going to need to know that. If somebody has a lot of GMV, but it's all from videos, they're probably not doing super well on their live streams with whatever product we see them going live with. So we need to be aware of that, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Then what we're going to do, like I mentioned, we're going to calculate the GMV per hour. All right. How much live GMV was done on each live? How many hours were they live? That's your GMV per hour. You now know how much GMV per hour that product is producing for them. And this gives us a good idea in terms of, are they making money or not? You can also on Calidata see what the regular commission rate is for that product. So if somebody is doing 500 GMV per hour and they have a 10% commission, they're making $50 per hour, right? And if our goal is to make 5K in a month, you know, we just do the math. We work backwards. All right, to do 5K in a month, I just need to work 100 hours. That's only 25 hours a week, and I'm making 5K. Now, obviously, you can do a lot more than that. Maybe you do $100 per hour with that product. You have to work a lot less, right? You only have to work 50 hours. That's only 12 and a half hours a week. It's less than 2 hours a day. Now, let's talk about the sweet spot for GMV per hour. I just gave you guys an example, but you want to find products that are doing at least 1K GMV per hour unless it's a supplement. The only reason that supplements are a caveat is because the commission rates on supplements are much higher. Supplements often have 25, 30, 35, even 40 or up to 50% commission. So, you know, you can make $100 an hour with a supplement that has 30% commission if you're only doing $300 an hour in sales. So generally we want to find stuff that's doing about 1K plus per hour, but if it's a supplement, bring that down to about 500 GMV per hour. All right, now I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how to do this with Calidata and Seller Center. All right, I'm going to walk you guys exactly how to use Calidata and Seller Center to determine how much GMV per hour somebody's doing and how much commission per hour somebody's doing, right? To determine if the product is a winner or not. So the first thing is we're here in Seller Center. You have your list of creator handles that you've been gathering just from scrolling the live streams. Now in Seller Center here, the first thing we're going to do, assuming you have the account set up, is click on affiliate over in the left-hand corner here, and we'll let that load. This is how you get to where you need to go, right? So we'll go through it from the beginning here. So we've got affiliate. This should load up here in just a second. And then we're going to go to, so sometimes it'll say go to open collaboration. If it says that, great. Or it'll say go to affiliate center home. Click on either one of those, just depending on what your screen shows you there. And then once we get to this next page here, we're going to go to find creators over on the left-hand side. Now I have a handle that we'll use as an example. So I'm just going to paste it in here and we'll search, and then it pops up right here. So we'll click on that. And there's a couple of things we need to look at here. The first thing is, okay, this is how much GMV they've done in the last 30 days. So they're crushing it, $353,000 in the last 30 days. That's not what we're looking at. First thing we're gonna look at here is GMV per sales channel. So we need to see how much of their GMV is coming from live streams and how much is coming from videos. If majority is coming from videos, that's gonna make it more difficult to determine how well they're doing with a certain product, right? But in this case, we can see 92% is coming from live streams, which is perfect because that's what we wanna know. Then if we come down here, it'll say trends, right? This is their GMV trend. So this actually shows us exact day-to-day GMV. Now, if we look at June 2nd, he did $15.9 thousand of GMV via live stream, right? Majority via live stream. We'll just say 15K was from live streams. Okay, so 15K on June 2nd. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to Calidata. We're gonna click on creator up top here, and we're gonna search him on Calidata. There he is. We'll click on his profile. And then, you know, you can do this over longer time horizons, but we're just gonna look at the most recent for this example. But this is just simply to show you guys how to do this. Now, We're going to scroll down here. I've got it set to last 7 days. We're going to scroll down. There's videos, there's products, etc., etc. And then we're going to sort. These are his live streams over the last 7 days. We're going to sort by most recent. So on the second, you can see he did 2 live streams, one for 2 hours and 59 minutes, one for 1 hour and 35 minutes. So in total, he did about 3.5 hours. Now in that 3.5 hours, he did $15,000 of sales. Okay. So that's pretty damn good, right? You know, if we round up, it's like 5K GMV per hour. We'll say 4K GMV per hour. And you can see what product he's doing here. He's doing this portable refrigerator cooler thing, right? And if we go up here, we can see this is the product he's doing right here. Okay, so this is a winning product. We know that. He's absolutely crushing it. Commission rate's low, but typically the open commission rate is just like the lowest commission rate. You can get higher commission rates from the sellers. The sellers probably go up to 10% on this. So, you know, he made 1,500 bucks yesterday, which is pretty good. This is the product. He's doing, you know, 4K GMV per hour, making very conservatively $200, probably closer to $400 per hour with it. So we're going to note this down. This is one of our winners. We're putting it onto our list. That is all you have to do. You're going to go to Seller Center, put in the account handle, see how much GMV per day they're doing, how much of that is from live streams, then go to Callow data. How long are they going live? Verify the product. Now we know this product is doing this amount of GMV per hour with this creator. They're making money. This product works. We're going to go get that product. That's all you have to do. You can do this for as many products as you want. It's a very simple process, but it'll show you which products are actually winners and which just maybe look like they're doing good, but aren't actually doing that good. So now once you've done this, you should have a refined list of approximately 3 to 5 products that are doing at least 1K GMV per hour, or if their supplements are doing at least $500 in GMV per hour. So go and request samples for these products. If you can't request samples for them, go buy these 3 to 5 products so that these are now on their way and you have some winning product options coming to you that you have on hand that you can start going live with. Now let's talk about setting up a live stream that keeps people watching. First impressions are extremely important. The first 3 seconds of someone watching your live stream is going to determine whether they stay or not, and ultimately determine whether or not you end up selling them something and earning a commission, right? So what viewers first see on your live is the equivalent of a good video hook. Everyone knows about video hooks. If you're making content, the hook is the most important part of the video. That first 3 to 5 seconds of the live stream is the most important thing for the viewer with your live, right? Now we can't control what they see first, which means that we have to be very aware of everything that you're doing. This is going to make or break the success of your streams. Keeping viewers retained is extremely, extremely important. Viewer retention means when somebody enters your live stream, how long do they stay and watch the live? We want them in there as long as possible. The longer somebody stays in there, the more likely they are to engage and interact, the more likely they are to end up making a purchase as well. If somebody's in there for 20 seconds, very low chance of them buying. They're in there for 5 minutes, very high chance of them buying, right? Gives them enough time to get familiar with the product, hear about all the benefits, hear about how it's on such a great sale right now. We want them in there as long as possible. Now, the higher your viewer retention is, the more people TikTok is likely going to push your live stream out to, right? If there's a live stream that only has people staying in there for 10 seconds on average, and there's one that has people staying in there for a minute on average, TikTok is more likely to push out that live stream that has people in there watching for a minute on average versus the 10 seconds. So how do we do this? First, strong visual hook. So a visual hook is the equivalent of a verbal hook, right? It's whatever they see. It's nothing to do with sound or what you're saying. It just has to do with what do they see when they first come across your live stream. So you're going to incorporate product demonstration, movement, showing results, and things that are visually engaging to the viewer. If I'm live streaming right now and I'm just sitting here, sitting still and talking, it's not very exciting. We want to have movement on the screen. We want to be picking up the product and showing it to them. We want to be demonstrating the product, whatever that is, right? If it's a phone, I'm showing them this, I'm walking through how to do different things. Boom, boom, boom. It has this feature, that feature, blah, 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 right? That is going to keep people visually engaged. If somebody scrolls and sees me doing this, they're going to be like, huh, what's he doing? If they see me sitting here like this, they're less likely to enter the stream, right? So we want to have constant movement on the screen. We want to be visually demonstrating the product. We want to be visually engaging with how we're speaking, speak with your hands, show people things, show people, the product, show people a phone, how to buy the product on a second device. This is a trick too that a lot of people don't use, is when you are live streaming, believe it or not, a lot of people don't know how to check out. How do I get the blue option, or how do I get the coupon, or any of those things, right? So best practice, and I know we didn't touch on this in the equipment part, but if you have a backup phone or excuse me, just like an old phone, then use that on your live stream to every, minute or two, show people how to check out. So if you guys want to take advantage of this deal right now, I'm going to show you guys how to get the best deal, right? Boom. All you go here is you click on this buy now button, go to the deal section, boom, make sure you claim these coupons here, that type of thing, right? That's visual engaging. That also in itself is just going to help with conversions. The visual engagement too is like what they see with the product, right? We'll talk about this, but we want the product to look appealing. If I'm selling this phone and I'm live right now and the phone's just sitting like this, nobody's gonna know, right? Nobody's gonna know what the heck I'm doing with the phone. They won't even know that I'm selling the phone. I want that phone front and center. They can see, boom, this is it, guys. This is the one right here. Now, going off of what I just said, the product is the star of the show. It should always be front and center on the screen and clearly displayed. There should be no confusion whatsoever about what product you're selling, what it looks like, and what it does, right? So the product is the star. It needs to be it needs to take up about 50% of the screen. It needs to be centered well, both vertically and horizontally. Some people will center it vertically, but they won't center it horizontally, right? So we need to make sure, boom, that product is just right in the center of the screen. Ideally, it's taking up about half the screen, give or take. It's gonna vary just depending on the type of product it is and the size and all this type of thing, but we want that thing front and center. This is an easy win, but so many people mess it up. Front and center, your lighting is gonna make it look good. Also, by the way, you are the co-star. The product is a star, and if you're on the screen, you're the co-star. Now, camera positioning, super, super important. Keep the camera, if you're doing a face live, keep the camera positioned at eye level, right? So you're just looking directly at the viewer, just like you're standing across from somebody having a conversation. You don't want the camera up high looking down on you. You don't want the camera too low looking up on you. It is a psychological thing where people either, if they're looking down on you, then literally subconsciously they're looking down on you as well, versus looking up at you, they're subconsciously, you're looking down on them. So make sure that your eye level, everything's centered nicely. You're the co-star, close enough to show the product and wide enough that nothing is cut off the screen. We don't want it too close to where they can't see everything. We don't want it too far either. So a good rule of thumb is about arm's length away from the camera, but of course, adjust that based on, what product you're showing. If you're showing a bigger product, you might have to be further back just so that they can fully see the product. Most important thing is that that product is clearly displayed. Even if you're not perfectly displayed, the product has to be. Okay, we talked about this with lighting, but bright, clear streams perform better. They perform the best, period. Always make sure that you, the product, and the background are well lit at all times. So it's not just the lighting on you, it's also the lighting on the background, it's the lighting on the product. A dark, blurry visual will absolutely kill your live stream, okay? I don't care how good of a seller you are. If it's dark and blurry, people are just gonna keep scrolling, right? Remember, we are fighting for people's attention here. So they got cat videos waiting for them, right? We wanna stop the cat bench for a second and get them to listen in on whatever it is we're talking about. Clean and professional background. I mentioned this earlier. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't need a studio. Literally just a blank wall behind you is fine to start. You don't want a bunch of distractions. If you got a bunch of like Christmas ornaments in the back, you got boxes, you got dirty laundry, you got your closet open, people can see inside your closet, like minimize the distractions. The focus should be on you and the focus should be on the product. So this is another one that a lot of people mess up, but it's really easy to do. Literally just put yourself in the corner of a room, have nothing else in there, go to your kitchen. It's okay if there's like some background ambiance, like, maybe it's overlooking the kitchen, that's fine. But we don't want a bunch of big distractions. If you have a big Santa Claus stand-up thing behind you in the kitchen, that could be a little bit distracting. If you have a bunch of clothes on the floor, if you have a bunch of clutter, if everything is dirty, that is all distractions and it's unprofessional. Keep things clean, keep things simple, keep things professional, and you're already going to be ahead of a lot of people that are trying to figure this out. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but constant movement on the screen. Again, we don't want to have a stationary visual. So even if you're not on the screen, it's just the product, you're doing a faceless live stream, we have to have movement on the screen. You got to have your hands there. You got to be picking it up. You got to be showing people the product, picking it up, showing it to them, right? If I'm behind this camera right now, I'm picking it up, showing it like, hey guys, here's this, here's that, blah, 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 and pointing at things constantly. Showing them the second phone, how to check out, those types of things. Visually interactive is super, super important, you guys. I cannot stress this enough. It's something that a lot of people mess up. And a lot of people think too, oh, I'm on the screen, so we're good there. We check that box. Not necessarily true. Even if you are doing a face live, you still have to be visually engaging with them, visually interacting with them. The streamers that do the best job are constantly moving in some way, right? It has to be natural. You can't just be doing fake stuff just to have movement on the screen, like waving and stuff. Like, it has to be natural. Don't be ridiculous. ridiculous. Don't be like, hey, look at me, I'm trying to get attention here. People are going to scroll right past that, right? You just look like a clown when you do that. Natural things, talk with your hands, pick up the product, pick up your phone, all that kind of stuff. When you're talking, if you're standing up, walk around a little bit, move from side to side, come in and come out, do things like that. They're going to keep people visually engaged, have that movement on the screen. Not to mention, if you don't have any movement on your screen, TikTok will give you violations for that. Static, lack of on-screen movement violation, and you don't want to deal with that. Now, here's the thing. Some of you guys are perfectionists and you think, okay, I'm going to do this, but you're going to overthink the heck out of how things look. It does not need to look perfect, right? Don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. So most successful streamers, they have simple and clean setups. They're not doing anything fancy. They don't have a bunch of decorations. They don't have a professional studio, professional lighting, professional cameras, any of that stuff, right? Viewers care more about clarity and energy in your presentation than they do about all the other things, right? We just need to make sure that they're not distracted and that we present ourselves in a professional manner. They have to trust you in order to purchase whatever you're selling, right? If they don't trust you, they're not going to buy it. It could be an amazing product and they may even know that, but if they don't trust you, why would they buy it here? Like, okay, I love this product and I've actually been wanting this for a while, but I don't trust this guy. I don't think this is actually, he keeps telling me it's the best price, but I don't know. Like, I'm going to go check Amazon. I'm going to go check elsewhere. Also, on that note, when you're selecting products, ideally, price is equal to or less than Amazon. I forgot to throw that in there now. Price should be equal or ideally less than it is on Amazon. That is going to help your sales tremendously. Okay, let's talk about creating a script that's going to turn viewers into buyers, because that's the whole goal here. People come in, we want to convince them to buy what we're selling. So how do we do that? What do we say? Most live sales come simply from communication. Great live streamers are also great communicators. They're not just great entertainers. In fact, communication is more important than being a good communicator is more important than being a good entertainer. I've seen entertainers, celebrities, things like this, do massive stream productions and fail miserably. Their sales are terrible. And then we have everyday people that decide to take up live streaming like you and I, that heard about the opportunity, saw people are making money with this. And they're such good communicators that they outperform a lot of these people that are just really good entertainers, because entertainment doesn't necessarily convert into sales. It just means people might watch for a long time or sit there and watch because it's interesting, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're interested in the product. They're more interested in just watching whatever that person's doing. Communication, communication, communication. I cannot stress this enough. People have to be able to understand what it is, why they should buy it, why they should buy it now. So you do not need to sound like a salesperson. The best live streamers, they feel natural, it's conversational, it's authentic, it's confident. You don't have to turn yourself into a used car salesman, okay? That's not the best route. You need to be authentic. You need to be yourself. You need to communicate. You need to have confidence. You need to be engaging. Don't be a robot that's just sitting up there repeating a script. It is good to have a script, have a structure, so we can follow talking points and kind of keep a nice flow with the live stream. But you don't want to be up there just reading a script, and you do not want to be a used car salesperson, right? We're connecting with people. At the end of the day, whoever it is on the other side of that screen that's watching you is a human just like you and I, sitting there watching, thinking, this is interesting. What's this about? Should I buy this? I kind of need that. I kind of have this problem. Sounds like it's on a good sale, right? You're simply just connecting with people, but you're not, instead of doing it in person, you're doing it through a phone. And this allows you to connect with hundreds or thousands of people at one time versus doing it in person. You're limited to how many people you can kind of connect with, right? So anyways, be authentic, be yourself, be confident, and be engaging. Now, let's talk about the basic script structure. This is the most basic structure. This is all you need. You don't need a crazy fancy script. You don't have to overthink this part of it. You need to introduce the product. You need to introduce and talk about the problem it solves. You need to talk about the features that it has and what the benefits of those features are, AKA how does this feature solve the problem? And then you need to create urgency. If you can do those 4 things, that is all you need for talking points in script. Now, outside of this, obviously in your script, you are not going to have things like respond to Joe's comment, respond to Sarah's comment. Those are things that you should be doing, right? So you have your talking points, you're running through those. As engagement comes, thank people for liking the live, thank people for sharing the live, respond to people's comments, and don't wait to do it. Your script is not more important than engaging with your audience. Your talking points, your selling points are not more important than engaging with your audience. The most important thing is engaging with the audience. So sometimes I see people and they have their script and they're trying to get it down, and that's fantastic. But what they do is they just ignore all the comments that are coming in, and it's crazy. The more you respond to people's comments, the more comments you're going to get. The more engagement you get, the more your live stream is likely to be pushed out by the algorithm. Okay. Now, let's talk about the product introduction. So simplicity is key. No need to overcomplicate things here. Welcome people in and tell them what product you're talking about. So if I was just, scripting for a live stream about, this water bottle, I'd say, hey guys, welcome in. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day so far. Today we're going over the Kirkland Signature water bottle. These are on a massive sale right now. Best water I've ever had, blah, 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 right? We're just introducing it and we're having fun with it. We're welcoming people in. We're telling them what this live is about. We're just dropping some subtle hints about it being on a crazy discount right now. We're dropping some subtle hints about why people should buy it. It's the best tasting water. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you guys have been seeing this all over TikTok, they're going viral right now. I mean, obviously like this isn't going viral, right? But these are going viral right now. They're selling super fast. Everyone's getting it, right? Some social proof there. That's all you have to do for the intro of your script. It's very, very simple. You do not need to overthink it. You don't need anything fancy. Now, highlight the problem the product solves. Okay, this is where you call it the problem the product solves and the pain points people may be experiencing that don't yet have this product. So this is like water bottle, right? What problem does this solve? Well, dehydration, health, energy, all these types of things, right? So if you guys are going throughout your day-to-day and by the time lunch hits, you're feeling tired, it's probably because you're dehydrated or the water you're drinking just doesn't have proper electrolytes in it. With Kirkland Signature water, they do X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. We start introducing the selling points. We introduce the problems, right? That's just one example, but you can use multiple examples. If you're feeling tired, water, hydration, right? If you're constantly feeling like foggy, like you have brain fog after lunch, this is just, again, one example. You could be dehydrated and you may think you're getting enough water, but really the water you're drinking just isn't very good, right? So touching on all these things, if I'm selling supplements, whatever, figure out what the main reasons that people are buying that product is. Is it because it helps them look younger? Does it help with skin? Does it help with hair? Does it help with nails? Does it help with energy? Whatever it is, whatever kind of the main selling points are, we want to dive into those and talk about those, like the problems that product solves. If you don't know how to do this, literally just go read the reviews on the product. People will tell you why they bought it and what problem it's solving for them. It's a very easy thing to do. If you're like, I don't really know how to talk about what problems this product solves. Literally just go hear it from the horse's mouth. Just go see what consumers are saying. Read the reviews on TikTok, read the reviews on Amazon. That will tell you all you need to know. In fact, that is more valuable than you trying to come up with something on your own, because these are real people telling you what made them decide to make this purchasing decision. So that is the most valuable information that you can have. Then we're going to talk about the features and the benefits, right? So if I'm talking about this water, the feature is they put 27 different minerals and electrolytes in there. That's a feature, not a benefit. The benefit of that is that you're going to get more hydrated. When you just drink water by itself without minerals and electrolytes, you're actually becoming more dehydrated because your body is just using that water to flush out all the minerals in your system. We have to replenish that. So that's feature and benefit. Feature is like what it says on the label. It could have a 40-watt battery. Well, what does that mean? Okay, people don't care about a 40-watt battery. People care that, oh, this battery, I'm talking about an e-bike, and I don't know anything about batteries, so I'm just making this up. This 40-watt battery is going to last for 50 miles, and it gives you X amount of power. I could be completely wrong about how watts work. Don't judge me there, but the wattage is the feature. The benefit is, it goes X amount of miles, or it goes X amount of miles per hour, or whatever the case may be. But features and benefits are two different things. Benefits are what sell. Features are not what sell. Features just allow us to communicate to them, it has this thing that's going to do this for you, right? People don't buy a 40-watt battery because it's 40 watts. They buy it because of what the outcome is. So you want to sell the vacation itself, not the trip, right? People aren't paying to go to Hawaii to sit on a plane and go through TSA. They're paying to sit on a beach and drink pina coladas and Mai Tais. So you need to be selling the pina coladas and Mai Tais, not the plane ride, not getting, frisked down by TSA. Okay, the last part of the script is urgency and closing the sale. So if you've done your job with the script so far, then this is where you convince people to buy and convince people that they need to buy it now. A lot of people feel uncomfortable doing this because maybe they just have never been in sales before. Maybe it just feels like, oh, I don't want to put pressure on people. You're not putting pressure on people. If you have done your job and clearly explained the value of the product, answered everyone's questions, then you have earned the right at that point to ask them for the sale. Okay, and that is simply all we're doing here. We're asking them for the sale and we're telling them this is a great time to do it. So with urgency, it can be very simple. You're probably, if you're starting out, you're probably not going to have flash sales yet, and you don't even need to worry about that at this point. You can just say, hey guys, this is on a crazy good deal right now. I can only guarantee the price while I'm live. So if this is for you, make sure you pick it up right now. Make sure you finish checking out before my live ends. I cannot guarantee you're going to get this price after my live. So if you guys are putting this in your cart thinking you're going to get this later, think again, make sure you complete the purchase. I want to make sure you guys are getting the best deal possible, right? I don't want you wasting your money and coming back tomorrow and paying more. Not to mention, this stuff sells out super fast, especially at this price. So make sure you guys are grabbing this up. If you guys have any questions about how to check out, put those down in the chat below. I'm going to show you guys how to get the best deal right now. So if you guys want this at the best price and to check if you have any additional discounts, just follow along with me real quick, right? All you're gonna do is hit the buy now button and go to the checkout page. Now click on that deals tab right there. If you see any extra coupons there, make sure you're claiming those coupons. It's gonna take the price down even further. So this normally sells for $60, but right now on my live stream, I have it for only $39.99. That's $20 off, about 33% off. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that. And any additional discounts you have on top of that is just a bonus. I would pay $60 for this, but right now you guys only have to pay $40. It can literally be that simple. And that's just one example. You can also just go watch other live streams and just kind of take note of how are they creating urgency, right? You can do it in more subtle ways. You can do it in more direct ways, but you have to have urgency mixed in throughout your talking points. So you shouldn't just be doing it at the end. Especially if your script is longer, your talking points are longer, it shouldn't take you 5 minutes to touch on urgency. You might have a big urgency kind of portion, but if you're only talking about that every 5 minutes, you're kind of doing your job wrong there. You need to be touching on it literally every minute or so, because people are cycling in and out of your live stream and you don't want them to see the product and see how cool it is, but then not hear that they should buy it right now. So even just sprinkling little things while going through the talking points, hey, again, you guys, this is on a massive discount. I don't want you guys to miss out. Make sure you guys are scooping this up before the live is over. If you want to get the best deal, then boom, back to your talking points. Hey, just a quick reminder, I see some of you guys checking out. Make sure you're not just adding it to cart. Make sure you actually complete the purchase if you want to lock in this price. Just sprinkling little things in there like that. But urgency is super important. You have earned the right to ask them to buy it if you're doing a good job on your live stream. So don't feel weird about it. This alone will make you a lot more money. This can really dictate your income with how well or how poorly you incorporate urgency into your talking points. Okay, repetition is key. A lot of people, they wonder, how am I supposed to talk about the same thing for an hour or 2 hours? Well, the answer is you're not having to come up with new talking points for the entire time, right? You're going to be repeating yourself a lot because it's constantly new people cycling in and out of your live streams. If you're trying to just come up with new things for everything you say, you're missing the boat here. You should be repeating the same things, in your script depending on the product and the complexity of it, every 3 to 5 to 10 minutes, you should be kind of just recycling the same talking points. And that is what the script is for. Some people, I don't even call it a script. I didn't use a script. I just had bullet points for this is what I'm going to talk about, right? And I'm just going to go through everything in that order. And then within there, I'm mixing in urgency. I'm responding to people's comments. I'm thanking them for liking. I'm thanking them for sharing. But you're going to be repeating yourself. You're going to be repeating the talking points every, let's just say 5 minutes or so. And if you're not doing that, you're doing this wrong. That's why the script is important. That's why the talking points are important. It's always new people coming in. Literally every second, someone new is coming into your live. So just keep that in mind. Okay, who, what, why? You're going to want to constantly be explaining who the product is for, what problem the product solves, and why people buy it, why people should buy it. If you're touching on these 3 things, that is all you really need when you mix in urgency with that. Who the product is for, what problem it solves, why people are buying it. If you think about it in that tense, it becomes very simple. You can literally structure all of your talking points around those 3 things. Who, what, why. Now, this is a big one. Your script should evolve over time. Your script, day one, your script is not going to be the best version of itself. It should constantly be evolving and improving after every single live stream. What's going to happen is you're going to go live for the first time and you're going to realize, oh, I should also talk about this, or, oh, I should also talk about that, or, oh, people are constantly asking me this question. Maybe I should incorporate that into my script. You should always be looking for ways to improve your script or your talking points after every single live stream. And you'll notice too, some things that you'll have in your initial script, you'll do it and it just won't feel right. That's a sign. Okay, if something doesn't sound right, it doesn't roll off the tongue very well for me, switch it up, change it to something else. But constantly be evolving your script. This is how you get better. This is what top live streamers do. The people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, They don't write one script and just run with that and make all this money. They have their talking points, they go live, they improve it, they go live, they improve it, they go live, they improve it. That's what you have to do. Okay, what to actually do during your live streams. So your goal during your lives is to keep viewers watching, keep viewers engaged, continuously explain the product, and create buying momentum. That's it, right? So we do those things through our talking points, our visual, how we're interacting, how we're demonstrating the product, our tonality. Do we actually sound excited about the product, or are we just monotoned? We're not touching on tonality a lot in this, but tone is important. You should sound like you are talking to your best friend, explaining a product that you just got that you think that they should get to because it has improved your life in some way, shape, or form. If you're talking to your best friend on FaceTime about whatever it is, could be a new coffee machine, a new set of golf clubs, some new makeup, whatever, you're probably going to be excited about it if you're telling them, if you're going out of your way to tell your friend about the product. That is exactly how you should be talking to your viewers. Now, strong starts equals strong finishes. What does that mean? The first few minutes of your live are extremely important. As soon as you hit the button, you need to bring every ounce of energy. You need to be going 100%. Anytime you're live, you need to be going 100%. If you can't give 100%, you should not be going live. Do not still be setting things up once you start your live. Don't be trying to figure everything out. Literally, you hit the live button and you just start. There's not going to be people in there the first second, but you just pretend like there's always 100 people watching you. If you do that, you will be good. But the first several minutes, TikTok is going to decide, is this worthy of pushing out to more people or not? And a lot of people make the mistake of, nobody's in my room yet, so I'm not going to start doing anything. Well, just because people are not actually in the live watching does not mean people cannot see your live. They're still scrolling TikTok, they see your live come up, and they choose to enter it or not. Now, if you were doing nothing because nobody is in there yet, those people are not entering because they're like, oh, nothing going on here, nothing going on here. I'm just going to keep going. So literally the second you hit live, you should be fully set up. You should be fully ready. You shouldn't be hooking up your mic. You shouldn't be setting up your visual. You shouldn't be sitting and waiting for people to come in. That is not the move. Literally start from the beginning 100% as soon as you hit that button. Always be talking. Dead air kills energy in the room, viewership, retention, and sales. You don't want to be sitting silent. It's okay to take a drink of water. It's okay to just take a breath for a second. That's totally cool. But we do not want dead air. We want to be talking the entire time. You have your script, you have your talking points, you have your urgency, you have all these things. You have people that will be engaging. You need to be talking the entire time. Again, people are scrolling. They scroll, boom, I don't hear anything. I'm going to keep going. Boom, I don't hear anything. I'm going to keep going, right? We want to be talking like, oh, what's this guy? Or what's this lady talking about? What's this gal talking about? Got to be talking the entire time, okay? At first, you're like, oh man, I went live for an hour, my voice is shot. Yeah, that's going to happen the first time, but it will get way easier the more and more you do it. And then you'll realize, hey, I can do this for a couple hours a day and make a bunch of money. This is pretty easy. First couple times, I lost my voice, drink water, drink tea. They have sprays on Amazon that can help with your throat, but you have to be talking the entire time. Demonstrate your products repeatedly, you guys. The more visual the live feels, the better off you are, right? Constantly be showing the product in action. Now, not every product can be demonstrated, but most can. So make sure you're constantly demonstrating the product. You should either be demonstrating the product, visually engaging yourself, just like connecting as a host, or showing them how to check out. Those are the three things you should be doing. Picking things up, demonstrating the product, showing them your phone, just talking to people, being animated as you talk. Now, you don't have to be fake. You want to be yourself. You want to be authentic, but you should be demonstrating. Demonstrate. This is going to literally sell the product just as good as anything that you're going to say. I want to see this thing work, right? If it's a vacuum, let's see that vacuum. Let's see it go. Let's see it pick up some stuff. If it's a Roomba, let's see it do its thing, like whatever it is, right? And you can also use visual aids to do this, right? Some products are more difficult to demonstrate. So, if you need to like take some video of the product, while you're using it and then show people the video on the live stream, hey, this is me using the leaf blower to get all this stuff off my driveway in like literally less than a minute. Check this out, you guys. This thing has a ton of power. You can just see it just blows all the leaves away with ease. It takes no time at all. Things like that. That's a product demonstration. Doesn't necessarily have to be you physically demonstrating it. It could be you showing some sort of visual. It could be a graphic, an image. Like all those types of things are going to help you sell and also keep people visually engaged. I mentioned this before, but talk to your chat, you guys. If somebody drops a comment, respond to them, ask them a question, answer questions, of course, right? If somebody asks a question, like literally stop what you're doing and answer the question, finish your sentence, whatever, but answer people's questions. Because chances are there's other people that probably have the same question, but they're just not asking. So all those people, they're like, I don't know about this and I don't feel like asking because I'm scrolling TikTok. I'm just looking for entertainment. So always answer people's questions. Acknowledge viewers by name. If somebody leaves a comment in the chat or asks a question, I'm going to call them out by their viewer name or their username. Hey, Johnny123. Yeah, great question. So X, Y, and Z, right? By the way, love the, is that a poodle in your profile picture? My aunt has a poodle. Like, connect with them too, right? If you see something in their profile picture, make a comment about it. We're humans. We're not just robots selling products. So you can have some fun with it, but always talk to your chat. Ask them questions. Sometimes they're not going to say anything. That's okay. You just got to keep asking. Hey, let me know where you guys are coming in from today. I'm here in Seattle. The weather's crap, but it's all good. Let me know where you guys are at. You know, just stuff like that. But the more engagement you can get from chat, the easier this whole thing becomes. All right, pin the correct product. So each live should only be focused around one product. Let me say that again. Each live should only be focused around one product. There's a lot of people that they start going live. They say, I'm going to sell this product. I'm going to sell that product. I'm going to sell that product. They try and sell 5 different things at once. You're not going to do very well doing that. I can just tell you right now. In theory, it might sound good. It does not work that way, especially if you're new and don't have the skill developed yet. Focus on one hero item. That's it. Only show one product, only talk about one product, only have one product pinned at the bottom of the screen. You guys can see in the screenshot here, that is a product pin. It sits right at the bottom and allows people to click on it and make their purchase. That should be pinned the entire time. That's all you're talking about. That's all you're showing. It's really that simple. Don't deviate from this. So many people think that they can just outsmart what works by, well, I think I can do all these products together. I'm telling you, don't do it. Focus on one. We've talked about this. Show viewers how to check out, you guys. You should be using a second phone. Show viewers how to check out, how to claim coupons consistently throughout the live stream. Literally every minute or so, you should be doing this. It's an easy win. It's going to increase your conversions. It's going to increase your click-through rates. It's going to help everything. Plus, it's going to answer a lot of questions that people may have about buying that are too afraid to ask. Do not panic during slow live streams. Slower traffic at the beginning does not mean it's going to be a bad live stream. Don't let low traffic bring your energy down, right? A lot of people that get on live, I only have 5 people in here. This live sucks. Wrong attitude. Literally, if you need to, just cover up that number in the top right corner. If you only have 5 people and that's going to mess with your head, cover up the number. Always pretend like there's 100+ people in there. Don't let that dictate your energy. A lot of people will spiral because they don't have high viewership, but that is going to translate into never having high viewership because you are acting like there's 5 people in there. Therefore, you're never going to attract 100 people. There's always 100 people in your room. Do not let a live being slow affect you. Your only thing that you have to focus on is selling. Focus on selling to those 5 people and more will come. Now, the best creators, they improve through repetition. Nobody, generally speaking, gets on live for the first time and just blows it out of the water and blows it out of the water every time after that. You have to repeat. You'll constantly improve dramatically simply by practicing. Practicing meaning going live, testing, and then reviewing your streams. Go back and watch, 5 minutes of your last live stream. You will notice things that you're doing that you don't realize you're doing in the moment. And these are all opportunities to improve, opportunities for you to make more money. So constantly be testing and constantly just be improving through repetition. You guys, seriously, that is the best way to get good, is just by doing it over and over again and then reviewing, tweaking, and doing it again. All right, let's talk about scaling from $100 an hour to $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour. Scaling comes from skill improvement, right? We've talked a lot about skill improvement. We just talked about repetition and skill improvement. Consistent big live commissions is not luck, right? Some people might have one-off situations where they get lucky and make a lot of money, but making a lot of money consistently on live streams is not luck at all. It comes from improving product selection, your presentation, your scripts, your engagement, your urgency, how well you interact with your audience. Those are the things that are going to make you more money. If I had to put something at the top, once you become a good live host, the only bottleneck is going to become your product selection, right? So if you can do all those other things really well, then you just have to pick the right products. But most people can't do all those things really well from the beginning or even after a little bit. You're constantly improving. So like I mentioned, better products equals better results. Product selection is without a doubt one of the biggest factors when it comes to scaling. So once you get good, if you want to scale, your product selection has to be dialed in. I showed you an easy way to do that. Literally with the method alone that I showed you, you have all you need to make several $100s per hour. Now it's up to you to develop the skill of that. Improve your product explanations, you guys. Top creators explain products clearly, confidently, and repeatedly. We've talked about that, but it bears repeating. Clearly, confidently, and repeatedly. Get really good about explaining your product. You have to give yourself time to get good at a product, right? If you try a product on your first live and it doesn't work very well, it's often not the product, it's you. right? There's a reason that not everybody can just go on with a product that's a winning product and do well. It's not the product. Clearly, the product is a winner. It is the host. It is the skill set. So we have to get really good at explaining our product. We want to become the expert at talking about this thing. All right, learn from your data, you guys. Seriously, pay close attention to impressions. Impressions is going to tell you how many people TikTok is pushing your live stream out to. Enter room rate, click-through rate, conversion rate, and watch time. Those are all things you need to be paying attention to. Now, don't obsess over these in the early stages. We're talking about scaling here. So at the beginning, you should not be too worried about this stuff. Once you start making 50, 100 plus dollars an hour consistently, start paying attention to these metrics and tracking them. Okay, my enter room rate has gone down significantly. What's going on? What happened? Did I change my visual? Did I change my script? Did my lighting get worse? What's going on here? From the beginning, don't worry about this stuff. Once you start making consistent money, start paying attention. Always, always, always double down on what works. Do not try and, I have something working, so I'm gonna try and go make something else work over here. No, double down on what's working for you. That is how you're gonna make the most money. When a product format works, a product or format works, repeat that. Optimize it and scale it further. Better live environments are going to increase your performance. Now, a live environment is essentially what people see, right? Where are you at? What's around you? That's the environment. As you scale, continue to improve your lighting, your audio, your setup, your demonstrations, your pacing, your organization. That is all the environment. People are stepping, when they enter your live stream, they are stepping into your environment. You want that to be on point. These are all things, these are all elements that go into that. So constantly be improving and tweaking those things to be as good as possible. More live hours does equal more opportunities. The best live streamers, they usually started out by putting in a lot of hours at the beginning. You're going to shorten the learning curve by putting the time in. Plain and simple, there's no way around it. It's not to say you have to put in a ton of hours, but if you do, you're just going to get to the destination quicker. It creates more opportunities for conversions, for data, for testing, and good faith with the algorithm. TikTok likes to see people that are performing over long periods of time. How do you do that? You have to be going live. The top creators are continuously the top creators are continuously adapting. Products change, trends change, viewer behavior changes, but the best creators continuously test, adapt, and improve. There's a reason that top creators stay top creators. And it's not because they got lucky with one product, right? They're constantly adapting to the environment. Things are constantly changing on TikTok. TikTok, it's a fast moving environment. It's ever changing. So you have to be willing to adapt as you go. All right, let's talk about the biggest mistakes that beginners make with TikTok Shop live streams. First one is expecting instant results. Most people are not going to see results their first or second live stream. Live selling is a skill, and the early struggles are a normal part of that process. The ones who succeed realize this. When you go to school for 4 years and get a 4-year degree, you're expected to put 4 years in and then get an okay paying job out of school, right? So you need to be willing to put in a little bit of time, not 4 years, probably not even 4 months, to learn this skill. But don't expect overnight success. Tying into that, quitting too early. Many creators quit before they even give themselves the chance to get good at this, right? You should be focused on skill development in the beginning stages, not the numbers. The numbers will come. Some of you will see them early, but focus on skill development. If you quit too soon, you literally aren't even giving yourself a chance to get good. So this is 100% up to you, what level of results and success you have with this. Choosing bad products. I've talked about this a lot, but product selection is key. A bad creator can do good with the right product, but a good creator will do bad with the wrong product every single time. This is the reality of TikTok Shop. I mentioned this as the kind of initial success pillar. Product selection, super, super important. Make sure you're spending time to select good products. I showed you guys how to do this. Talking too little during live, right? This goes back to dead air. Nothing will sync a live stream quicker than not enough talking. People need to feel like something exciting is happening here. I want to be here. I want to know what's going on. Focusing too much on viewers. Again, sales pays you commission. You're getting commission on sales. You're not getting paid on the viewers, right? There's people that make a lot of money with very few viewers, and there's people that make a little money with a lot of viewers. You do not get paid per view. You get paid per sale. So don't focus so much on the view count. Overcomplicating the setup. A lot of new creators overthink the setup and just waste time stressing about, oh, do I need this? Do I need that? Do I need this? Keep it simple from the beginning. Simple setups are going to win. Not going live consistently. Consistency is key. Going live every day if possible, even if that's only for an hour or two. But going live consistently will snowball and catapult your results. If you just go live once on Monday, once on Saturday, and maybe once on Sunday, like ideally every single day if you can. If you need to take days off, that's fine. But the more consistent, the better. A lot of people make a mistake of, oh, I went live on Monday and I didn't make any sales. Then I went live again on Thursday, went for 20 minutes, didn't make sales. Literally go set yourself a schedule. I'm gonna go live for 1 hour every single day. I'm gonna go live for 2 hours every single day. The longer, the better, obviously, but consistency and time are both important. Becoming emotionally attached to products. A lot of people will just get emotionally attached, think this is the product, or maybe it's a product they had success with, but then it dies and then they have a hard time letting it go. They're like, I'm comfortable with this. I don't want to go live with anything else. I don't think anything else can do well. And they just keep riding a sinking ship, right? So once a product starts performing over a week, 2 weeks, it's time to cut that thing loose and find something else. And you should always be trying to get more products in the wing so you have something there if you need it. All right, comparing yourself to advanced creators. Advanced creators have logged hundreds or thousands of hours live streaming. So comparing yourself to them literally serves no purpose other than to destroy your confidence and just tank your results. Now, the biggest mistake of all is simply not even getting started. I showed you guys exactly what to do, the blueprint, the outline. If you follow the steps in this video, you are far ahead of many other people. Top creators you see now all started with simple setups, with low viewer count, with no experience, just like you. You have no excuses. That's everything you need to know to start making money with TikTok Shop Lives. But here's the truth. Information is the easy part. It took me months of trial and error trying to figure things out on my own. And if I could start over again, I would skip all that and learn from somebody who had already done it. That's what Live Academy is. It's the only platform built specifically for TikTok Shop live streaming. How to start, how to grow, and how to turn it into a real income. We've helped people like Bobby make over $8,000 in commissions in a single month. Or there's Kim, who's a teacher, was able to quit her teaching job, makes over 6 figures a year, and is able to spend more time with her family. Or people like Allie, who is able to pay off all of her credit card debt just from commissions made from TikTok Shop live streams. Or people like Sam, who now makes over $30,000 in commissions every single month, was able to get into her dream house and bought her dream car completely cash. It's all thanks to not just the information, but the coaches that we have, the weekly calls we have, and the weekly guided roadmap. You won't get this kind of personalized support anywhere else. So if you're ready to make extra income from home without all of the trial and error, I'll leave the link down below in the description. We only allow a limited number of people in every single month, so click the link down below, lock in your spot, and I'll see you on the inside.